A few days into the release of the legendary Snyder Cut, and we still can't get over how awesome it was. And without the corny fear-feeding moths, the characters finally got some breathing space, not to mention a plot that wasn't whole like Swiss cheese.
Before what, Bruce?
Kill me? You don't want to kill me. I'm your best friend.
Marked as an undeniably passionate piece of work, the action, the storyline, the cinematography, and the soundtrack all came together in the Snyder Cut to make a movie with some of the best moments in the history of DC movies. And so we're back with Volume 2 of the best scenes in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Major difference in Snyder's Justice League from the old one is that the invasion was led by Darkseid. This backstory gives so much more meaning to the whole movie, because last time, the only reason for Steppenwolf's need to take over the planet was that he lived only to conquer, and they just expected the audience to care about this vague, baseless explanation as the reason for the entire movie, so no wonder that fell flat. Also, the battle's way cooler in the Snyder Cut. Darkseid clawing at the soil really sends chills down your spine. And when he pounds a life-sucking rune onto the earth, you know that this is going to be way better than Steppenwolf's rampage. The whole scene manages to bring in the fear and hopelessness which Thanos had, giving some much-needed credibility to the entire storyline. And Darkseid isn't taken down with a well-aimed thunderbolt. It takes a good lot of collective effort to take down the raging maniac, and this will definitely set the tone for the invasion that was teased at the end. Superman's death is the whole reason for the mother boxes waking up. So basically, it's the whole reason the Justice League storyline exists. And how did the old Justice League handle it? By opening the movie with a cringe video of Henry Cavill's CGI lips. Zack Snyder's known for amazing opening scenes, and Watchmen proved that. As the credits roll quietly on the side, ripples of Superman's death scream spans across worlds, waking the boxes up. The gloomy, suspenseful music really sets the tone for this movie, announcing not so subtly that this movie has depth, class, and meaning. Yes, this scene is a bit long, but it takes the time to remind audiences that Superman was the protector of Earth. I love how his cry echoes through all realms, showing just how much power and prominence Superman had in the universe.
Oh, and some have called me the Martian Manhunter.
For those normal folk confused by the green guy flying around and shapeshifting, that's Martian Manhunter. He'd been living on Earth in secret for a very long time, and he'd been hiding in plain sight in DC movies for a while as well. If you're wondering why you've never seen this character before, it's because all this time, his on-screen appearances were always in his human disguise, General Swanwick. After paying Lois a visit for a disguised pep talk, this curious green one disappeared from the screen until the very end. He wakes up a disgruntled Bruce Wayne, who's by this time used to so much weird stuff that not even a green levitating creature could faze him.
You know, I never thought I'd see the Defenders of Earth united and fighting as one. It wouldn't have happened without you, Bruce.
He drops in a lot of big words on Bruce like Darkseid, invasion, and anti-life, while poor Bruce is trying to remember whether this green brainy thing is someone he's supposed to know.
I've realized I have a stake in this world, and it's time I started fighting for it.
This may have been confusing for some, but for those who know the part Manhunter plays in the League, like Bruce rightly said, we're glad you're here.
Your mother and father would be proud.
Hope so.
Give me the mother box!
In Volume 1, we covered how Snyder gave a backstory to Cyborg, making him an actual part of the Justice League the audience could care about. One touchy point in his story is his ragged relationship with his father. Silas Stone is one of those dads who really loves his son, but is terrible at expressing it.
You don't have to give me a second chance, but give yourself one.
And experimenting on your son's dying body and turning him into a cyborg isn't really the way to build a father-son relationship. Victor's backstory comes to a climax in this scene. As heartbreaking as it is, his father's death is what motivates Victor to stop pulling his punches on taking Steppenwolf down. Silas's death also reveals a more caring side of the most unlikely character. All this while, Aquaman seemed as if he couldn't care less about what happened to the team. But when a kid loses his dad, he's the first to notice.
We're asking a kid who just lost his father to go up against the most powerful machines in the universe.
And this scene explains how the League locates Steppenwolf's lair, so it's several birds with one emotional stone.
You know, he made the core the hottest thing on Earth outside of a nuclear reactor. Now, anything that hot would have to
Blink off the charts on a thermal imaging system.
You were sent here for a reason.
You will give the people of Earth
an ideal to strive towards.
Although Superman's a bit confused when he's brought back to life, he takes a quick walk down memory lane to clear things up. The ship offers him several outfit options, but Superman walks past with that troubled expression of, "I've got nothing to wear." A flash of light, the smoke clears, and Superman is back in black.
All the hopes and dreams of Krypton live in you now.
In the comics, the recovery suit was worn when Superman's powers were weakened. The suit has some extra protection and can absorb solar energy to speed up his recovery. In the Snyder Cut, however, the black suit had a deeper meaning. His recent experience with death threw Clark into a brooding and slightly unhinged mood. Clark Kent was moving away from the goody two-shoes perfect hero, but he obviously didn't want to embrace the murder and invasion persona of the Kryptonians either, and so the black Superman was born.
You will help them accomplish wonders.
The movie hits that perfect spot of satisfaction when Superman, in his shiny new suit, basks in the sunlight, no doubt recharging himself for battle.
Fly, son. It's time.
Batman's attempts at making a team are finally put to the test when they go head-on with Steppenwolf for the first time. They may not have done so well as a team, but this was undoubtedly one of the best scenes in the movie. Pumped up with another rocking piece of music, the team, minus Aquaman, make their superhero jump from the Nightcrawler.
You good?
I've got this. Keep moving.
Diana gives a wonderfully uplifting pep talk and the team's off to save the hostages. At this point, the League has no harmony, no connection, and absolutely no plan. Right after Diana informs of a makeshift plan of doing it together, everyone does the exact opposite of that and starts doing things their own way.
We do this together.
What makes this scene so good is that it gives a little trailer on the skills of everyone, just so that everyone's on the same page. And despite the hitches, they manage to save all the people, build a little bond, and pull in the ever-reluctant Aquaman into the team, so it's a win for the team at the end of the day. Talk of Darkseid, the new saviors of Earth have yet to see his face. Luckily for them, a portal opened long enough for them to size him up and take a good look at his army. No doubt that glimpse will come in handy when the threat and invasion falls on their shoulders. In the comics, Darkseid's the ruler of a dark alien world called Apocalypse, and Steppenwolf is actually Darkseid's uncle. Yep, you heard that. Once Darkseid took control of mystical Omega Force, he gained immense power, his skin turned to stone, and his lust for conquered worlds grew exponentially. Boosted by their win, the League puts on a little show for the maniacal conqueror. They throw poor Steppenwolf around, and Wonder Woman finishes him off with a rather surprising move for her character. But Darkseid lets them know that he couldn't care less about his minion. He glares at the team, sizing them up to ready his invasion. This brief scene was great at giving everyone a flavour of what's to come.
Ready the Armada. We will use the old ways.
The scene at the Kryptonian ship's pretty much the same minus the pet cemetery jokes, but one major twist, apart from the ship sliding in warnings in between the countdown, is Cyborg's vision of the post-apocalyptic future. Cyborg was pretty on board with the idea of bringing Superman back, but then he sees something that makes him almost pull the plug on the whole mission.
Victor? No. Go?
Aquaman's promoted and then demoted since he's wearing the crown as King of Atlantis, but is then impaled by Darkseid. Wonder Woman's dead body burns on a pyre, and worst of all, Darkseid comes to comfort a distraught Superman. The next thing you know, Batman's probably dead too. Imagine his horror when his no is translated to a go in one awful second. The ship gives one final ominous warning, and there's obviously no more turning back. This is one of those perfectly crafted scenes that sets the stage for something bigger.
Now, how many dead eyes can you look into before you die inside yourself?
It's no secret that the Joker and Batman go a long way back. Given the eccentric murders, he was the last person Batman would include in his team, but hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. Like always, Joker knows exactly how to pull Batman's strings, and right now, Batman has enough trouble to deal with without Joker guilt-tripping him about old sins.
Why you sent a boy wonder to do a man's job?
This scene sheds light on Batman's personality from a whole new angle. The Joker unabashedly calls himself Batman's best friend, which in a way is quite true. Also, Joker pins the whole Knightmare events on Batman and chalks his effort to guilt, making a mockery of Batman's ideals as always.
You need me to help you to undo this world you created by letting her die.
All this time, Batman never responds to Joker's ranting. This is the first time we ever see the noble Batman fighting back and threatening murder, even dropping the F-bomb in the process.
And when I killed you, and make no mistake, I will fucking kill you. And I do it slow.
Topping off our list is Flash reversing time to save the day. Unlike in the old movie, the team actually lost their fight against Steppenwolf in the first go. Lucky for them though, Barry reverses the timeline to push Victor into the mother boxes before the Unity is formed. In the old Justice League, Barry's only role was to be the only likable person in a largely unbearable movie. But Snyder took the time to give his character some actual worth. For the most part, Barry represents that character who's usually there to crack a few jokes but goes unnoticed in the big action. Snyder changes this perspective by hinging the entire success of the team on the Scarlet Speed. This scene is slowed down to his pace, following his thoughts and expressions. In the backdrop of a gripping soundtrack and breathtaking visuals, Barry runs while the ground forms under his feet. This is one of those golden scenes in movies that live to be one of the best scenes in the history of movies. And that was Volume 2 of the best scenes in the Snyder Cut. This movie is undoubtedly a piece of art and an absolute masterpiece that truly does justice to the iconic Justice League. Click the card on the top right to check out Volume 1 of Zack Snyder's Justice League scenes. Also, comment below if you want to see Volume 3. Enough likes and comments, and I might just do it. Anyway, I'll see you next time on the TV Regent.